Technology screens, and today we're going to talk about why gray screens and white screens sit in the dark. Even with an ultra short throw projector, sorry about that, they still sit in the dark because, again, they can't see contrast and can't see color. I see a lot, and the reason why there's no excuse for, sorry, I mentioned about the company, Crystal Wave Technology screens and the Black Series Edition.com, which we're using right now on the wall here. Now, the reason why gray screens can't see contrast or color, because it's gray. And I saw on, I'm not going to mention the person, I don't want him in the video, but in the individual, in his his website, he had it down as 2200 lumens. It is considered to be low lumens. And that right there tells you at the end of the day, he doesn't know what he's talking about, because 2200 lumens is nothing. It's absolutely nothing. You can get projectors that are way lower than 2200 lumens. 4K, Tropical Fish, YouTube. So a 2200 lumen projector is not considered to be a low projector. I had a few Panasonics in here. I had a Panasonic in here that was 1500 lumens. I've had projectors in here that were 900 lumens and so forth. And the fact to say that 2200 lumens is considered to be low is extremely bad, especially when the screen is a light gray screen. That's like saying that you got a white screen and it can't be used with a projector of 2200 lumens. This is not good. This is extremely bad because it should be able to pick it up. The problem you're going to have with that, it's going to have a huge issue of trying to pick up color and contrast in a flooded environment. And this is what I see what happens to a lot of ultra short throw projectors. When they're sitting that close to the screen, you have less of a distance throw. And with that distance throw, that means if you're sitting back with a regular projector, you're sitting back somewhere like 20, maybe 30 feet from the screen. It could be like 17, 18 feet from the screen. That's the reason why long throw projectors have high calibers of lumens, because they know that they're going to lose that amount of light and they can transfer, actually from traveling from A to B to the screen. Say the screen requires 2000 lumens. So if it requires 2000 lumens to generate, and that's all it needs, out of that 30,000, or where it's traveling to back and forth, they need to make sure that they have at least minimum 2,000, but it'd be nice to have 4,000 lumens hit the screen, just for an insurance. So that's why on venue projectors like the one I have over here, I have massive amount of lumens for that distance throw. But ultra short throws sit right up on top of a screen at a foot away at 3,000 lumens, which means if they can't maintain an affiliated environment, then there's a problem. So when I saw that in the specification sheet of 2200 lumens on a light gray screen that can't pick up, that's the minimum is 22. That is extremely bad for a light gray screen. A light gray screen should be able to pick up on a 50 lumen projector with no problem whatsoever. Now, in a well-lit environment, not going to happen. More like in a dark environment, that's when the image is going to pick up. So that's not good at all, period. Now, if it was specified by saying that, all right, if you use 2200 lumens in a well-lit environment, then, you know, you're going to be able to pick up a somewhat good picture. The problem you have with the gray screen paint products and in the white screens is the problem that even at 5,000 lumens, they don't register. So here we got our 200 lumen Brookstone projector here in the demonstration. There. Let me show you that it is a oops, knocked my cord out. My cord looped around my whatchamacallit here. 200 lumen Brookstone projector. And we got it right next to a window. Now we don't advise you using that 200 lumens, unless you're going to be in the dark. I would say that would be fantastic, but in a fully lit environment, yeah, you're going to be able to pick up a somewhat of a great picture. So we're picking up right now. Now, if our black screens, our black technology can pick up at 200 lumens, I don't know how in the world a projector, a screen paint, that light can't pick up on a surface of 2200 lumens. And that's considered to be a minimum. All right, so let me show you the theory here. I'll plug my charger for a minute because we don't need it in for this. If you look at the screen, right here. I'm going to stand up a little bit here. To make this easy. All right. Now, see how close the projector is? If we go to pull it back, let me get that other two, that gray and white over here. And this is why I clearly state that people who call themselves selling products do not know what they're talking about. Now, come over here and let's pull our image all the way back. Matter of fact, we'll do it better yet. Color to do it on is something more. Red screen, YouTube.
Getting that from YouTube.
So here we are displaying the basic color red. We need this side to be taken down a little bit more. It's kind of lifting up too much here. Let's see if I can get that to make it a little flatter. There we go. Now, as I said before, that mumbo jumbo may fly to a few people online, but that's the reason why we never see you on forum sites, because you can't be in there. There's a dozen of my kind sitting in that bad boy, and we do question the work. So you can't use that in there. 200 lumen projector. That's our black screen in the middle. That is the gray paint. That is the white screen. As we start to pull the image back, sorry about that, you see the image start to deteriorate. This is why I can understand when you're using an ultra short throw projector while you're sitting in the dark. You do know an ultra short throw projector has less of a distance throw, which means it's going to lose less lumens, and it's going to be to maintain a much brighter and more vivid image because it's sitting close to the screen. Where a projector of a long throw, if it's got to travel a distance, this is the reason why they have 30,000, 50,000, 5,000, 7,000 lumens, because they have to consider how powerful a projector they're going to need, because in the environment they're going to be at, there's going to be a ton of windows and overhead lights, and that's going to cause the pitch and the lumen to start dropping off. But ultra short throw projectors, you guys are sitting right up on top of the screen. So how is it that you're sitting that close to a screen and you can't see color? Every demonstration, if I go on my computer right now and I look for an ambient light projection, ultra short throw projector demonstration, every single one of them sit in the dark. This is supposed to be the color red. It's washed out on the network. As I told you before, that the gray screen will give you a slight little bit more than the white screen. But still, at the end of the day, it still can't see color and still can't see contrast. It sees a little better than the white screen, but it doesn't pick up better than the black screen. The black screen is producing a bright, vivid red, where the white screen is picking up nothing, and the gray screen is still washed out and faded. And we'll just pretend the projector we're using here is an ultra short throw projector. That's why I said that when I watch demonstrations on an ultra short throw that's sitting right up on top of a screen at 3,000 lumens, and if that screen does not pick up that projector that close to a screen and there's lights all splattered around the screen, the environment's all poorly lit, that's a huge red flag that tells me at the end of the day that screen can't see color or contrast. There's no excuses. You're not sitting at a faraway distance, you're literally sitting right on top of the screen. And if you have to get up and walk over to show color and contrast, that is a major, huge fail. Push it even closer. And we're not even at a foot. It's a 200 lumen projector, that's it. And you're at a foot away at 3,000 lumens, ultra short throw laser? And you can't pick up in a fully lit environment because your screen will wash out? That's not good. Blue screen.
Getting that from YouTube.
See how blue pops up into our screen? It's right there. It's showing on both screens. They just can't see it. Green screen, YouTube.
Getting that from YouTube.
Purple screen, YouTube.
Getting that from YouTube.
This is why I explained to you from a person who's an expert at making that color product. The only thing this was designed to do was to give it a slight little more of a bump than the white screen. But when the gunmetal technology came out, that's a technology, if I lay up here, can produce a contrast level, better color, and white levels. But it can't produce a 100% black level, which is the key purpose of a gunmetal screen. That technology can see a 100% black level, pull color, and pull amazing white levels. And that's why I sit there when I watch ultra short demonstrations, I start laughing because your projector is sitting right on top of the screen. How are you in a dark environment with a projector sitting that close to the screen? We're not even a foot away from the screen. Right, 200 lumens. And that black screen in the middle is seeing color. And this is why, when you watch all demonstrations on these P2 or high-end projectors, that's why every last one of them sit in the dark. Because there's nothing wrong with the projector. This projector works perfectly fine. It can see red, blue, green, yellow, and orange, even at 200 lumens. The problem is that the screens can't see it. And that's why when I go on YouTube, I watch a lot of these demonstrations. They call it being in an ambient light controlled environment. It's an excuse. I'm sorry. Ambient light controlled environment is an excuse. Why don't you just call it what it really is? My screen washes out and it's crap. And that's pretty much what it is. This is not an ambient light controlled environment. Lights on, windows open. There you go. Starfield screensaver, YouTube.
Getting that from YouTube.
Can't see contrast. You can't see color. And then people say, well, that's not fair. Your screen's, it's what color? It's black. There you go. Now, this is the environment that these guys have to be in. Now, I don't know if it's that dark in here because the room, walls are bone white, so I don't know about that. We'll take out the overheads too. That's the best I can do you for. That's it. So this is how dark this environment is. That's it. And you still can't pick up, which means you'll have to be in a more even darker environment than this. Or you're just going to have to buy a projector with a very high lumen count in order to make up for what your screen can't see. And even that's going to be a bad idea because, again, you're introducing 3,000 lumens to a white screen or a gray screen that it's already having a hard time picking up in a fully lit environment. So let's just push more light right up against the screen. That's pretty close, eh? And it still can't see it. How close we're sitting to the screen. And for those who are going to argue, say, well, it's got to be a 4K laser. Well, then you got to spend, you're telling me at the end of the day that you have to go out and spend $3,300 for a projector so you can see the color black. Red screen, YouTube.
Getting that from YouTube.
Still can't see red. That's what red looks like. Not like that. Projector sitting right up on top of the screen. And this screen right here, the network grade 773, which we all know what it is at the end of the day, can't see red. Doesn't make a difference what projector you buy. Doesn't make a difference what environment you stick yourself into. It can be in the dark. I don't care where you're going to be at. You cannot see the color red. It doesn't pick up. You can swap out to as many projectors as you want. You will still can't see red. It's the screen's issue, not the projector. Nothing wrong with that projector right there. That projector sees red perfectly fine. The problem is that the screen can't see it. Can't pick it up, can't see it. And please do not say out of your mouth that that's not my product. White surface doesn't pick it up at all. So those who have white screens and you think you're picking up a red level, you are picking up nothing at all. Take the white screen, stick it next to here. Now you see where the gray screen pulls up a slight little bump higher than the white screen. Now look at the red, the black technology. But you need to be closer to this to see this. There you go. At 200 lumens, you don't register and you don't pick up. You're not even acknowledged. You don't exist. $200 lumens. Sitting that close to the screen. So that's why when you watch demonstrations on these ultra short though high powered machines sitting right up on top of the screen, you know why they're sitting in the dark? Because the color can't pop. You know why they have to calibrate? Because the color won't pop. You know why they need that whopping 2:1 contrast that you're going to pay a lot of money for? Because they can't see contrast levels. And even at that, they still can't see the color black. And you're sitting right up on top of the screen. So it's not a lumen issue. It's definitely not a lumen issue at all, period. It's a problem with the screen's color. It cannot pick and can't generate. And even if you think if you change the screen a different color, that's going to fix it. No, because then you have a problem with the balance level, which means if the screen has the ability to receive and accept white light, that becomes a problem. But if you make it too dark, then that means you upset the white levels. You upset the white levels, you make it too high, you upset the contrast levels. And then if you do happen to get that perfect lock, now you're going to have to test it against certifies, and you have to see how it compares to indoor and outdoor and ultra short though, and 1,000 projectors and on and on and on. Hoping it doesn't fail. Now for us, the reason why we make our tests impossible to beat because all our demonstrations are done live, which means you can't mess up one time on camera. But till then, to explain to you guys who are sitting in the dark trying to figure out where the coffee table's at, this is why a gray screen and a white screen do not work on ultra short throw projectors, they don't work on Pico projectors, they don't work on venue projectors, they don't work on anything because the screen is outdated. Your gray screen pulls better than your white screen. And our technology beats them all. Basic color red. Blue screen.
Getting that from YouTube.
We got all the colors here. Look at that color blue. There's a gray screen. Put you a little closer. There we go. In case you just need an up front seat. So how does this not pick up on 200 lumens? There's the white screen. There's the white screen and the gray screen. People you've been lied to for so long, it's not even funny how bad you've been lied to. It's sad. But common sense, you should have been there a long time ago. If you're looking at gunmetal technology and more superior technology, and you're wondering why you're spending $3,000 to $5,000 for a screen, if that paint had the ability to compete with the gunmetal, gunmetals wouldn't exist. They wouldn't be around anymore because you could do the same thing with that product right there. A gunmetal would blow that clean out of the water with no problem whatsoever. It's a darker screen. And for some reason, they tricked you to believe that a lighter screen, this has the ability to be able to be more superior than this in gunmetal technology? Are you kidding me? Then how come this screen's not $3,000 to $5,000 and the gunmetal technology is? And they make these screens. They make these screens in white, they make them in gray, they make them in mid-gray, and they make them in gunmetal. So why is a gunmetal screen the most expensive screen being the darkest screen? Can't even pick up blue. All right. On a 200 millimeter projector bookstone. Can you even see blue? Only you. I see you tried it on a gray screen. Yeah. All right. Now let's take this out. 200 lumens. So a small projector there. Maybe for some of you saying, well, that's not fair because it's not. You need more lumens. Well, that's sad. If you have to put that argument in there, because we're not having a problem. So let's go pick up a big boy projector. I had over here a Chrissy 4,000 lumens. As I said before, the more light we introduce to the screen, the faster the screen will wash out. So let's see if that theory is true. At 4,000 lumens, the gray screen and the white screen should be to maintain a solid blue level next to our technology, right? I got to do these demonstrations offline, which is pretty fun. Now, claims our products work with venues. This is a venue, or one of the many venues we have. So let's see. This is actually going to work. I saw you and him walking in the rain. It's cold outside in love. Never be the same. So when we get done this, I have to be downstairs in a fully lit environment displaying a gaming screen, and I have to be up here in another fully lit environment for the projector mapping I got going on behind me right now. But I have time to educate you and explain to you why your products don't work and why they're outdated, very outdated at that. Now we're at a 4,000 lumen Christie projector, because most people, when they have that problem of a screen not pulling up properly, they will go out and buy a projector of a higher lumen count. That's just human nature. Really should be in the dark for this one. This is just cakewalk, seriously. And the Windows issue, it's a 4,000 lumen projector. We're good there. Adapters are running in there. We're powering up the USB. Let's see if the USB in correctly. Bright. All right, let me see. That power's in the building by itself. Let me see, which one is this? Oh, this is which one? Okay. This is the one for the fire stick. No detection. All right. There we go. $4,000 lumen 720p Christie projector. This is what reaction what most customers do. They feel the lumen count is not high enough, they go out and buy a projector with a higher lumen count to fix the problem. So let's see at 4,000 lumens, can the gray screen and white screen still see color? So I explained to you, that's an outdated product. White screens are outdated, they're just script painted over top of. And you're still not going to be able to maintain your color or contrast. I'm trying to get commercials buying reds now. Yep, we do. Red screens usually don't have any kind of color screens in our commercial. Just goes right to the red screen. Now, see how bright that level is? Let's see if the gray screen paint, or house paint, or whatever you want to call it, it's going to be to see it. What did I tell you? 4,000 lumen projector. So what you just did, just introduce more light to a screen that's already having a problem with dealing in a well-lit environment. This is why gray screens do not work on ultra short throw. Short throw that's a projector sitting too close to a screen, actually sitting very close to a screen with 3,000 watts of light. Mind, this is not ultra short throw. This is a long throw projector. When ultra short throw is sitting right up on top of a screen at 3,000 lumens, that means it's watching the screen even faster than this projector at 4,000 lumens at a distance. It doesn't register, it doesn't pick up. This is why in all demonstrations, when you watch anybody using these projectors without a correct screen, you will see dark environments. White surface. Same reaction, but worse. This is why I tell you, gentlemen, at the end of the day, you do not know what you're talking about. You are trying to pass off an old product, introduce it to newer projectors, put it in dark environments and saying, ooh, this is how your image is going to pop up. When all the while, the customer is going to get home, he's not going to be in the same environment you're going to be in. They're not going to calibrate their projectors, and then what? Even calibrating a projector is cheating, because now you're calibrating the machine to pull colors that if a person were to able to get the same projector, they still wouldn't be able to pick up the same exact color pattern unless they were using that calibrated projector. So that's still cheating at the end of the day. Gray screens, white screens do not see color. I know they want to fool you and stick you in these environments and saying, hey, look, it works. No, you're in a darker environment, and on top of that, you have no comparison screen. Put a black diamond up there and see what happens. See how fast your color washes out. Go get that superior technology. That's a good technology. Like I said, I'm not a big fan of diamond. I'm really not a big fan of them at the end of the day. I'm not. But you got to respect the technology, and this technology is good. We can take it, yeah, we can, but it's good. And none of that screen paint product y'all guys make will never touch that technology in a million years. That stuff would overpower your stuff like that on any caliber projector you choose. Now, if that technology you can't pass, what do you think would happen if you touch our stuff at the end of the day? If you were to actually go in and order the real deal. Because I noticed when you were in the shopping carts ordering the 2.0, you stayed far away from that black technology. And still to this day, neither one of you have ever placed an order for our black technology. Never. Ever. But we place order for your products. We have the cancellations to back it up. So when I make a statement and I say that your products don't work, they don't work. Just like when I popped the top 6 months to a year ago and said your product was going to match, and it matched. So well, you deleted your own video. Try to hide it. So, no. Gray screens are a waste of time. Unless they are tested and they can prove they're tested. These products are not tested. And if you ever want to come in and complain about how your product is not what? You better never say that out of your mouth, that your product is not network gray, because people, his product matched network gray. So that is your product. That's the Cinemax right there on my screen. Now, let's put it in the environment my technologies used to be in. I'm used to being in ambient light projection, ambient light environments. We love this. Your products would wash out in here. This is why I explained to you at the end of the day, do not paint this product to your wall and white screens. At the end of the day, we're going to have to buy white screen regardless. But if you want to have a product that actually works, this is why our black technology is with us. Blue screen. YouTube blue screen. And at 3,000 lumens, sitting on top of a screen, and you can't even see. Do I need to bring a short though projector up here and embarrass us even more? That is absolutely awful. Slow color change out. I'm going to go grab me an ultra short throw. Slow color change out YouTube. A 4,000 lumen projector. Now, you see how this used to have some color to it, but now it's gone? It's completely gone because of light in the environment. That's why. Whatever tone that this screen could pick up is now gone, because now it's sitting right next to an open window and the overhead lights are on, which means that screen, whatever ability it had to be able to pull, is gone. Now it has to deal with the lighting we have in the environment and the additional 4,000 lumens from the projector. Have you ever seen this demonstration done on any other channels? No. Screen will watch up, that's why. Even I'm sure it's on here. Pitiful. Absolutely pitiful. I just picked up my Sony Ultra short throw. That's sad. How are you going to compete with the Black Series? 4,000 lumens hitting the screen. We're right on top of the screen. Not even at a distance. And you guys cannot pick, you can't pick up. Now, as for the other one, the philosopher says, well, you never tested. I tried to. I gave you $700 of my money, and you gave it back to me. So I did try to make an effort to buy your product. And since you gave back your money, why even bother? That after 7 attempts, that tells me at the end of the day that you really are scared for us to test your product. So what would be the point? The other one has like over 16 cancellations. Because this is what would happen to your product. This is what I would do to it. I would do all this stuff that you're not doing in your demonstrations. And the reason why you haven't ordered any of our black technology, you only stick with what you've been trying to get close to, which is at 2.0. But even the 2.0, we seem to fake the demonstration. That was nothing new. We knew we was going to do that anyway. That's why the customers who had the product that came out of the same container you had came out of, stepped forth and said, hey, look, no, he's wrong. This is how it looks. May embarrass you even more. Your products don't work. They are outdated. Again, was making these products before you guys were ever thought of on YouTube. If I tell you the product doesn't work, it's not going to work. It's not going to pick up. Just like when I sat there and said, it's going to match his product, match his product. Same thing that Slip Silver. Slip Silver will match his product, no problem. Anything that matches the network gray over here will match your product because your product matches network gray. That's what we compare it to. And if you ever want to get on YouTube and start ranting saying, hey, no, my product, it's not what? You can't. You have nothing to say. You don't even got a leg to stand on. So if I say your product is network gray 773 and anyone can take it off the shelf and do the same thing, yeah. And with the video to back it up. Dark Star 9. 0.9 gain. Even up close. I can bring my camera as close as I want and your product will wash out. Please. And relic paint. And to pass it off as something new and it's nothing. It's old paint. It's making that stuff before you guys were ever thought of. Nothing new about that stuff. Not a thing. Nothing new about it. Nothing. That's a Dark Star 9 laying against that technology because that technology can wipe out a certified and that needs to be put down because see how it's going dark there? It has to be all the way down. But if it's not, it's not a fair demonstration. That screen needs to lay flat. Now, don't get me wrong. I like the Dark Star 9. Dark Star 9, if it's not on our technology, it does a fantastic job. But if it's laying against our technology, it's going to go white. Make sure it's laying perfectly flat. Now, that's a white sheet of paper sitting next to a Dark Star 9. Gray house paint. How are you going to compete with Black Series technology? Gunmetals can't compete with that screen, and you can't even take on a gunmetal. Do you have any demonstrations against you with diamond, any of the more darker, heavier gunmetal screens? No, because there's no way in the world that you're going to be able to get that product right there to beat out, take that one. Even this one is showing some shades of coloration that's basically better than this one and this one, of course. But when you lay against a black, when you lay against a Black Series technology, that screen generates so much light that, like I said, anything that lays against it starts to fade, it starts to wash out. "4K Snow Screensavers," YouTube. Get a little closer. Can you do that close? This is why when this technology drops in November the 2nd, that is going to crush anything that lays against it. Offline, it's going to be a beast. Why do you think it was engineered this way? Because online is different. Offline is a different world. You'll be meeting your contacts face to face. You can't hide behind a camera. You have to be to back your technology 100%. I can walk into any forum room I want with this technology and I can wipe whatever they got clean. It's a dark star 9 sitting in the center of my screen, and that screen's so generating all this light. Watch this. Starfield screensaver, YouTube. We can register a 100% contrast level. Now, like I said, the Dark Star 9, it's going to maintain a contrast level, but it can't see 100% black. But it's going to come up a heck of a lot better than a gray screen and a white screen. And we take the Dark Star 9 and get it off my screen. Right, and let's put it over here next to the cinematics. And we can get them both to stay up there at the same time. It's going to be nice. Maybe both of it. Let's see. Both up here at the same time would be nice. There we go, hopefully that stays. Now, do you see the difference? I'm going to mention your name one time in here, Fernando. This is why I know your product is not tested. Do you see that screen sitting there? It's a $3,000 Dark Star 9. Do you see the contrast level that screen is pulling up on a 4,000 lumen projector that's literally sitting right up on top of the screen? Do you know why that technology costs $3,000? You know why? Because that screen can generate and see a contrast level. It also can pick up color and also can maintain its white levels. No gray product or mix will ever be to match that technology. Now, us on the other hand, we can pretty much overpower that screen, but anything else around it wouldn't stand a chance against it. One of the things I noticed when you try to call yourself doing a demonstration against a Dark Star 9, you're saying you're trying to match the screen. You didn't show any contrast levels, and you didn't do this in a fully lit environment. That screen has, I think, a 0.9 gain attached to it, which means it would be able to maintain it here with no problem whatsoever. So how a gray screen paint like yours, that couldn't even beat the house paint that's sitting right there, that matched it on every level, thought it could take out a Dark Star 9? Where did you come up with that theory? I've seen the demonstration. It was poorly done. Dark environment as always, because you had to have it in a dark environment because your screen wouldn't be able to maintain in a fully lit environment. Dark Star 9 can maintain a fully lit environment because, again, that screen does have a 0.9 gain attached to it. Your product, on the other hand, no, wouldn't have been able to do it because it would have washed out from the door. Heck, that gray paint can't even pick up on a 200 lumen projector shoved right up on top of the screen. It couldn't even see the color correctly next to a black technology. This is why you can't go to forum sites. This is why you can't never bring this product fully offline. This is why if you were going to a bid with a contract with a company such like that, you would never win the bid. We could easily take that bid from them with no problem. You can't do that. And before you go in and say, oh, that's not my, I wouldn't use that word too loosely. That is your product at the end of the day. This is why they don't go near certified screens. Certified screens are frightening. So with that technology, you can see a darker shade of gray. His product, who claims to be the best of the best, to show you all these contrast levels, dark environment, and he's using a projector with a 2 million to 1 contrast to fool you, to make you think you're seeing a contrast level, and you're not. Without that projector, you would be picking up a lesser shade of gray, as he showed in the demonstration with the Epson 955WH, which he tried to show off the black snake. And in the black snake display, with the snake showing the black snake in the background, that black in the background, his image came up gray. Didn't match the speakers, didn't match the thin bezel around his screen, came up gray. And the other demonstration with the OLED horse, he matched his gray skateboard in his gray couch, and that screen came up gray again. And with the OLED horse displays multiple shades of black level, including a solid black level. Yours all blended into a shade of gray. How can you show the multi-layers of black if you can't produce black to begin with? Now, if you're calling your product the best, you skipped a whole bunch of screens, did you not? Because there's a whole bunch of gunmetal certifiers out there I haven't seen you doing any testing against. So how in the world are you going to take on a product that can take on a gunmetal screen? Kind of jumped the line on that one, didn't you, Barbie? Oh, sorry, I apologize for that one. That was a low blow. It's not a Barbie. But let's say you jumped the line. I can call you a faker and a fraud and a scammer at the end of the day because, again, the blacklist is right there. That's house paint. That's your product right there. So how in the world did you jump the line? I'm just going to skip over all these certified gunmetal screens. I'm going to go right over to the head of the pack, and I'm going to see if I can take his product out. Buddy, look, between the both of y'all, this is why we have all the cancel orders. We gave you the opportunity to back your product. Some of the companies that we've requested from certified screens, not going to mention any names, but we've requested their products and they ignored us. They know what they're dealing with at the end of the day when it comes to our technology. Even 39s and 44s get denied. There are forum sites that are terrified of the technology so much that they basically gave us an illegal ban. Yeah, the ban we got on our site basically from them should have never happened. I even have a message from somebody who was a member who told me that they had talks about the minute my product would show up in there, they would automatically put a ban on me. You know what account I set up at ABS Forums for fun? I set up a business account. A business account gives you the ability to be able to advertise your product. So I went in and set up a page with 8 pictures, didn't put a description of the product, didn't put any information in, nothing. A member who came over from ABS Forum that was in there, saw the post, liked what he saw and says, hey, you're in the wrong section because we went into screens, which we saw screen paints in there, so that's what we went into. He said there's a page for do-it-yourselfers. Okay, fantastic, thank you so much. Before we got a chance to take the page down and go over to the other section, we got a ban for spamming. So let me get this straight, because I showed off 8 pictures of black technology, we got hit for spamming, but yet no indicator popped up by saying, hey, look, there's a warning here. You're posting too many pictures. We're going to have to tell you to back it down. Like Facebook, you can only post 80 pictures. We know, we max out over 80 pictures. So they tell us, okay, you can only do 80. That's it. That's the limit. All right, then we're going to do 80. We come back and put the rest of them in later. But no notification popped up. So we got banned due to the fact that if we walk in there with a black screen, do you have any idea what kind of trouble that would cause at the end of the day? You got people who have theories and pages on why gray screens are better, why gunmetals are better, why you have to have a 2:1 contrast projector, and that screen would go in there and cancel all that out. You don't need a 2:1 with our technology. You don't have, we can overpower certified screens. We're far superior than gray screens and white screens. We don't have to be in ambient light controlled environments. Our technology can be used outside. It'd be so many problems. Can you imagine this in the outside forum section? It'd be a nightmare for them in there. You got a black screen popping up in there at 250 inches, 2 dual 150 inches, 180 inches on ultra short throw projectors, 1,000 lumen projectors. Are you kidding me? Yeah, they don't want us in there. We would be a nightmare for them. Well, sooner or later, you're going to have to accept change. I told you about technology. You got 2 choices. You roll with it or get crushed by it. That's your point. That's what I realized when I saw diamond technology for the first time. I had 2 options. I can roll with it or get crushed by it. I chose to roll with it and then produce something a lot more advanced. Blue screen, YouTube. That gets puzzling right there. The thing in it is near our technology. You literally have to be away from our technology in order for that to work. Literally, you're not. Our black screens literally fade anything close to the screen. I'm gonna have to move that. Let's see what happens. We move something. Get it away from our screen. Let's bring it over here. Gotta get it away from our screen. Because that's not going to. Because the way that screen is designed to generate light, anything that gets near it's going to wash it clean out. There's going to be some problems. Dang, you're making me work today, and I already gotta work today. Oh my job, Mark. Ugh. Whoa. What's wrong next? What's up, projector? Excellent. I'm gonna shut the window because I'm probably gonna get the planner. You got the screen next to a window. That's not right. This is not seeing the hand and I can hold it. It's too bright. That's what I'm talking about. It's not I gotta go through, man. I don't have to do that. Thank goodness. I'm not shutting the curtain for my screen. I'm shutting the curtain for their screen. They're the ones having the issue, not me. There you go. I can have my window open. I'm good. That's not going to be enough. We got to be up on top of it. My goodness, man. Technology, I swear, can make a decent screen saver. Freaking soap attached to it. Like what the freak. And that's got to lay flat. Oh, this is too much. My goodness. Red screen, YouTube. I'll never hear the end of it. So I mean, this is the reason why. So you see the red level comes up much better. We gotta be in line with the screen. Literally have to be in line with the screen. There you go. So you see the red level comes up much better than the gray screen. There you go. Man, this is the reason why I talk about them today, man. Don't have that issue with our product at all. Gotta shut windows, because then I'll never hear the end of it. I'll hear from their company talking about, well, you had a screen right next to an open window, so that's not so and so and so. It's just ambient light projection with a 0.9 gain on. I mean, you would think so. Why? But I be having that issue to begin with. I would love to hear that conversation for the day. Why am I even having that issue at $3,000 for that price of that screen? Shouldn't be having that problem. It should be easy. It should be a freaking cakewalk. But I got to make sure the surface is flattened out because it does have a new, what do you call it? A viewing count. What do they call it? A narrow count. Yeah. Narrow viewing cone effect. All right. The narrow viewing cone effect. See the screen here? Watch me start to turn. See the screen go dark. It's called a narrow viewing cone effect. Sometimes screens that have that kind of reflective surface will actually have this issue. Go back around. You'll see the screen start to get brighter. There you go. It's called a narrow viewing cone effect. The screen paints usually don't have that issue. They shouldn't have that issue because they don't have that reflective surface. Only the screens I've tested that have reflective surfaces have that issue. Some of them have it less, some of them have it more. Depends on the screen. Not all of them have the same effect. All right, let's go get the ultra short throw. Now we did ultra short throw. You can't have that up there because that screen's not going to work with ultra short throw. This is not ultra short throw compatible. So we can't use this. And not to be rude against Elite screens, but it's $3,000 for a screen that doesn't do both ultra short throw and long throw right there. So right there tells you something on why our screens are more superior because we can do both. Now even though gray screens can say, hey, we can do ultra short throw too. Yes, you can. But the problem you have is, can you see the colors when you're on ultra short throw? Can you pick it up? That's the question. Let's see what we got to do with ultra short throw. It might be here with this one. All right, so let's get this one off. All right, if we do all this, let me see something a minute. 4K demonstrations YouTube. And this is why that when you watch the demonstration of the OLED horse, it's not supposed to come up gray, it's supposed to be black. And at 4,000 lumens, less than probably about 4 feet from our screen, they can't pick it up. White screen's reflecting too much white light. Let's go with the famous one he has on his site in a dark environment. Mind you, this is 720p. There's no laser, none of that nonsense. We don't need it. 8K desired nature. YouTube. If they even gave it to it, 8K discarded me. 8K desired nature. YouTube. And this is a demonstration that was done on a P2 projector in a very dark environment, trying to fool his customers to believe that they were going to actually pick up the exact same image on any projector that they could use live. I'll show you right here. We'll pull up the same demonstration. And again, for those who are going to say, well, that network, what we're going to say is network grade is the Cinemax, because it is what it is. There we go. I'm going to get a commercial because it's winding so long. Let's see, commercial maybe? Yeah. That gray screen paint, or house paint, it's house paint. It is what is house paint. Doesn't pick up on jack. Every time you see him display that screen, remember, that's house paint, number one. And number two, he will be in a dark environment every single time, with those white lights behind the back of the screen, trying to give off the illusion that he's in a well-lit environment. Now, if I'm wrong on this, I'm going to mention your name in the video, Jamie. I want to see this demonstration done today. You can choose any caliber projector you want. I really don't care. It can be 4,000, 5,000, 7,000, make a difference. It can be 1,000 lumens, it can be 200 lumens. It doesn't make a difference. You need this demonstration done today, right exactly next to a window. You need to be that close to the window. Fully lit environment. And I want you to show a contrast level on your screen that matches your speakers. The reason why we're requesting this is because he's lied in his demonstrations multiple times, trying to fool his customers, trying to make them believe that they're going to actually get the same contrast level that he's displaying. When you show up pictures like that, you're lying to your customers. Because you're telling them at the end of the day that they're going to pull that same contrast level regardless of what projector they're using. The problem is that your projector has a 2,000,000 to 1 in it, and you're in a dark environment, and you have a calibrated machine, which means your customers can't pull that same image, or virtually impossible. If that was the case on the OLED ports on the Epson projector, you would have pulled that same black level, but you couldn't because you're in a fully lit environment and you didn't have the crutch of a 2,000,000 to 1 sitting in your back. So your screen turned looking like that at the end of the day. The reason why it watches out even more on our screen because it's on our black technology. So before you go out and make accusations that you can't back up, that your product at the end of the day can pull a contrast level equal to a black screen, I think you need to back that theory up. But until then, since we all know this already, your product is network grade 773. It's a shelf paint. Now see, our technology can maintain the image with no problem whatsoever. LG Jazz demonstration, YouTube. I see these done in the dark all the time. Always do these in the dark. This is a cheap demonstration. If you don't have anything to compare, so it's a cheap demonstration. because they try to make it look like they're showing a contrast level when they're really not. They're just in the dark when they're doing it. I look forward. I'm not even going to bother. Like I said, we don't even bother going to this channel because we know he's not going to do it. He can't do it. If it took him that long to do that slip silver, what makes you think he's going to? Yeah, it's a waste of time. We're just getting the challenges. You guys figure it out from there. But I'm showing you what that product really does. And you can come in here, you can argue all he wants, that's not his product, well then you explain why you match that product. It is your product. That was the whole purpose of the demonstration, to show that your product didn't match Network Gray, and that I was a liar. That ain't go so well for you, did it? So that's why if you look at all the demonstrations, they're done in the dark. And every last one are done on the P2 projector, but he mentioned 720p in his demonstration. That's the same thing he mentioned 2200 lumens. Again, 2200 lumens is not a low lumen projector. We came in here, we did this at 200 lumens. Next to a window. That's not low. You can buy Sony Bravo projectors, the big boys, they have 900 lumens on them. Panasonic got a few of them that are between 12 and 1500 lumens. So how is 2200 lumens considered to be a low lumen projector? All right, he says 35 is a high lumen. No, 35 is not a high lumen projector. Nowhere in the world is a high lumen projector. The NEC MPs 1150s can range from 43 to 5,000 lumen projectors, and they're considered to be theater projectors, not venues, even though they have interchangeable lenses. No. I'm not even going to bother talking about the philosopher, because again, that is he shot himself in the foot. He pretty much, there's not much you can say about that one, because again, his mathematical calculations were way off. Either he shot himself in the foot. The minute he made that product a 4-code application, yeah, he shot himself in the foot with that one. We're adding it up. Someone was adding my math up yesterday, and I said, no, there's no way around it. Because if it's 32s, much easier. It is much easier to do 32. 48s, how would that even work? The average screen at 120 inches is 32. Where the freak did 48 come from? That's a lot of paint. So even if you got a gallon, he'd still be short 16 ounces per quart. Yeah, he shot himself in the foot big time with that. Then there's a shipping problem with him too, because you're talking about 48-ounce containers, only 2 of them can ship in a medium-sized box. He's going to ship them on all large boxes, because that's the only thing that's going to contain them. And the customer's going to have so much paint left over. It is not even funny how much paint they're going to have left over. And wasted resources, costing too much money for resources, and every time he makes a sale, he literally has to pay money out of his pocket, because he's going to be like on a minimum $40 short. Definitely $40 short. If you're designing 4 different individual products, and the cheapest you can go is $50 for each one. You can't make it out of a quart because he has 48 ounces. If he had 32s, it'd be easier, but he has 48s. So he's going to have to change that over to 32 in order to try to make something out of that, but it's not going to be a lot, because he shot himself in the foot with it. He's literally going to have to get gallons for each one. That's what he's going to have to do. And like I said, a minimum of a basic screen paint is $50. It's a basic, it's $50. That's 4 times 50, that's $200 right there. This product costs $160. He literally has to spend $40 out of his pocket in order to make the product. And that's not even considered containers. Some of those containers you get on Amazon, you get them on Amazon a little cheaper. Sometimes they can be 20, 30 bucks for 4 containers. Sometimes it's 3 containers. Well, yeah, when they do the 48s don't come in 4s, they come in 3s. If you get a good vendor, sometimes they come in 2s, but most of the time you get them in 3s, in the 48s. So he's going to have to spend, say he gets the 48s for like 18 bucks, okay? So he'll have to spend 18, he'll get 3, but he needs 4 to complete the screen. So he's going to spend an additional 18 for that extra one. He didn't think about that either. Unless he goes to Uline. Now, if he goes to Uline, he can get them by the bulk. But the bulk can cost you anywhere between 100 and 20 bucks. It's a little cheaper, but it can cost you 120 bucks because they're 48s. 32s are a little cheaper to get. Anything above the 32s get a little expensive. Even the gallons can cost you a little bit more. But for some reason, those odd number containers, those 48s, those 40s, they want more for those. I don't know what they just do. So, yeah, he literally, the way he calculated it, he basically will pay up more money. And if he's trying to get over 160, which is going to be a problem, he's going to have to show his product is worth that kind of money, which means they're going to have to do a ton of testing to back the product up. Can't test a product you've been already selling. It's not going to work. It's like you driving around in a car and you find out they're just now testing the vehicle. How high is your confidence level right now going down a hill with a car come out? Oh, we just got around to testing the brakes. It doesn't go so well. It's going to be a bad day for you. It has to be tested. All right, you got a coefficient moving back and forth. Let's get an ultra short throw. We got an ultra short throw set up over here, so let's get ready for ultra short throw. At the end of the day, no one's saying y'all can't make a good product. It's just you're lazy. You're about lazy. You figure you can get on camera and run your mouth and talk about a whole lot of nonsense and don't back it up at the end of the day. So, can't do that. Because, again, if you think I'm a nightmare for you, there's millions and millions of my kind all over the place. There's tons of informed sites that will question you. I get hit with them all the day. I get hit with people just like me every day when I go into a forum site. And guess what? I can tread through there with no problem. They're going to ask you, can you do this? And can you do that? And can you back it up with the baseball catch? You got to back it up, man. Okay, you're talking all that nonsense, and someone's going to question you on that. Go in there with that quantum fusion stacking system, and see how many laughs you get out of that one. You'll get some emojis at the end of the day. If you're nothing but laugh emojis, you have to back that up. I don't know how in the world you're fusing a screen that's dry to the touch. I don't know how that even works. Okay, let's see. We're going to run this unit here. Fire it through here. Upset, angry, casting out threats, all kinds of stuff in the room. You see that? I posted that to a couple of sites. They're reading through the comments. They're like, this guy is sad at the end of the day. And a lot of people in there not going to do business with you after seeing that nonsense. They don't want to touch you with a 10-foot pole. If you had any customers, you wipe them clean. People don't like to see that kind of nonsense. You're threatening, carrying on, and acting up. You can't. I ask you simple questions in there. I ain't getting nasty with you. I ask you simple questions about your products. I ask you to explain. Why are you selling a product that's matching house paint? Simple and plain. I asked them about the stacking system. You guys are on camera talking this stuff at the end of the day. And you're snapping and carrying on and getting upset and getting angry because I'm asking you simple questions that you can't even answer. Next time you learn a valuable lesson, don't get on camera and tell a bunch of lies. Problem is that you expect for no one to question you. That was the problem. You didn't think anybody was going to question you about it. What are you freaking living on? Anybody's going to question you about that. All the certified screens, all their products are tested. They can back their products up to the ability of what that screen is designed to do. They can back it up. Now, if they say this uses, we have certain requirements where we use an ambiently controlled environment, then that's a requirement. For me, it's different. I don't use that ambient controlled environment, so I do expect for the screens to, if they're in ambient light rejection, they shouldn't be in an ambient light controlled environment. But their products are tested. No company on the face of the planet, everything you have in your house had to go through some kind of test facility before it could get that seal of approval in order to be sold. So it doesn't mean you guys don't have to do the same thing too. Everybody else has to do it, you have to do it too. You drive, right? Well, how'd you get your license? You had to take a test to get it, right? Okay then. My goodness. No excuse for it. Pretty sure parts that you have on your vehicle, the refrigerator, washing machine, smoke detectors, everything you have in your possession has some kind of seal or approval showing it was tested. Even down to your Christmas tree lights. You don't want to wake up one day and find your tree is on fire because it wasn't tested correctly, or your brakes don't work on your car. Maybe your washing machine decides to spit tons of water all over your freaking floor and cause all kinds of damage. Or your oven can just explode on you in the middle of the process of you cooking something. Refrigerator can shut down and all your food can go bad. So those are bad things that can happen to you if your stuff is not properly tested. Or even worse, God forbid, your smoke detectors don't trigger off when basically, or carbon dioxide units don't go off when there's a problem in the house. So what excuses you guys at the end of the day of not having a tested product? If you're taking money from somebody at the end of the day, if there's an exchange of currency, your stuff needs to be tested. And if you're angry, upset, and that bothers you in the day, then you need to stop making screen paint. Stop cheating people at the end of the day with a fake product. And that bothers you. And that video bothered them. You're upset, angry over the video. It's your video. You do know that, right? Don't even work on ultra short though. Would you like me to shut the window to help you out? Outdated product. There you go. That worked for you. Don't work on ultra short throws. Don't work on picos. Don't work on 4,000 lumen projectors. That's a 3,000 lumen Sony projector, 720p. Doesn't even pick up. I can stick it in your somewhat environment. Don't work. Slow color change out, YouTube.
Getting that from YouTube.
Look at this. It's good to be moving on. I'm so grateful that I felt relief.
I just see a white projection screen.
We own the castle.
This is a way bigger renovation than we anticipated.
Now I'm going to go downstairs and take care of some business. I got to get set up for my next video. I got 2 demonstrations to do. But, gentlemen, your products don't work. And I've seen your stuff already, what you call them, you know, philosopher, like I mentioned, intellectual philosopher. You match your freaking wall in your theater room after going through a process of telling people that they have a stacking system that they're building together, and you match the wall in your theater room that I'm pretty sure only took primer and 1 coat of paint. Now I asked them to paint a surface like that again and stick it against this wall and do a demonstration, and that deteriorated to nothing. Oh my goodness, the products don't work on nothing. You can use multiple projectors, nothing works on that stuff. That stuff is old. All right, what you doing here, you fuzzy monster? Oh, you've got all of this. You've got all of this, you fuzzy monster. Oh, you crazy monster. Yeah, I'll get one step. So there you go, drag on. You don't work on projector mapping, you work on nothing at all, period. Doesn't work, it doesn't register. Let's try a contrast level. Starfield screensaver, YouTube.
Getting that from YouTube.
Basic Starfield. Nothing. That's why you sit in the dark. On ultra short throw projectors that sit nowhere near, as close to the screen as it possibly can be, and you pick up nothing. I'm going to push that right against the wall. Right against the wall. So I got my projector over here kissing the wall. Right against the wall. 3,000 lumens projector. And that gray paint picks up nothing at all. Shut the curtains, turn out the lights, picks up nothing. Well, you know what? I'm going to call it what it is. Cinemax. Because that's what it is. I'm not calling it the network gray anymore. This is a Cinemax from now on. This is what I'm going to call it, the Cinemax. And you can get angry, you can get upset, and whatever you want to do at the end of the day, unless you show me a demonstration of that product, beating that network gray 773 and not doing what it did when you had that red hoodie on, or better yet, oh, I forgot you're supposed to post that. Yeah, thought about that. We got to be on your site today anyway. We were in the stream, and he went to this crazy rant telling, oh, look for it, I got it, because we showed the video of him deleting the video off the account. So he said, go look for it. And I said, well, I'm not going to go look for it. It's a waste of my time. But what you can do is, since you did activate the videos again, if he did, or he's just talking trash to the room as he usually does, you can post it directly to your website and we'll come in there and have a look at it. So you should have been had the video by now. And it takes about a couple of minutes to post it to your site. It doesn't take that long to add videos. Add videos all day long to the site. So yeah, let's go check. I'll give you another 8 o'clock tonight. We'll go in and we'll check your site and see if you put the videos there. But until then, that's the Cinemax. And that's what I'm going to call it from now on, the Cinemax. Because your product matched that product. It matched house paint. We're not calling it network anymore. That's Cinemax. So once your product, I go to Sherman Williams and make an order for a gallon, get it over here for about $23. So we got the projector kissing the screen right now. Right up on top of the screen. Red screen, YouTube.
Getting that from YouTube.
What's going on? It's a 3,000 lumen projector. It's the same lumen projector that a P2 has. 3,000 lumens, the only difference, that one doesn't have a 2 million to 1 contrast, but again, on a black screen, it can see over 2 million to 1 because it's on a black screen. But yet a projector of 2 million to 1 on a gray screen can't see a 100% contrast level. You would have to have a much darker screen, which means you would have to have one of those, well, they'll make a darker version of an ultra short throw. I don't think I've ever seen one. Oh, well, that ain't gonna go up. That kind of moves. It does. That's messed up. I already thought about that. I got to hunt that one down. They don't even have a dark screen, a gunmetal version of an ultra short throw. Because you do know with the 2 million to 1 that you really can't utilize that on a gray screen. It's not going to work. You're going to have to be in a really dark environment to use it. You can't be in a fully lit environment with a P2 and a gray screen trying to utilize 2 million to 1. That's not going to work. So you're going to have to be in a darker environment. Unless you're just going to upgrade and just get a much darker screen. And the darkest screen you're going to go near is a gunmetal, and that's $3,000 to $5,000. But I've never seen, you can't use it on an ultra short throw gunmetal because the ultra short throw screens are usually lighter. Oh man, that's got to bite. I just thought about that. Yeah, that's some extra money you're going to have to pay at the end of the day. Well, thank goodness for our customers, we don't have that problem. We can pull that 2 million to 1 and over with no problem. I just thought about that. That's the same thing with the whole 235.1. The black bar problem, black bar issues you're going to have, or black bars. The 235.1, if you're trying to do that on a 16:9 ratio screen, you're going to have black bars at the bottom and top. With 4.3, you're going to have them from side to side. Depends if your screen's a little longer. But then again, the screen downstairs, we're doing it at 1610. 1610 also too gives you that same reaction, but it's a little bit bigger than a 4.3. It's just higher in height, and a little bit shorter in the length from side to side. Oh, okay, we're getting off topic here. But at 235.1, you can do a screen, if some people want to switch back and forth, because you have a dedicated 235.1, there is no way in the world you're going to do 16.9 off of that. But if you have a screen that's 16.9, you can do 235.1, but the only problem is you're going to have black bars at the top and the bottom. You can't do this with a gray screen or a white screen because the bars can't turn black. They will remain gray. The only thing that's going to be black is the border around the screen, and that's not going to expand to your picture. So you're going to have these light bars here and here. It's going to be like a zebra effect. It's going to be freaking black right here where the border is at, and then it's going to be gray and white here, and then it's going to be a strip of some washed out color here, because again, if you can't pick up the black bars here, you're not picking up contrast there. That's the problem you're going to have. On a black screen, that issue doesn't occur because the screen's black. So that means regardless if the screen's here, 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 or here, it's always going to be a black border around the screen no matter what. So we don't have to use that whole curtain system because our screen is automatically black. The benefits of having black technology. Right up on top of the screen. Oh, this is going to be bad. Watch this. Gray screen, colors, YouTube.
Getting that from YouTube.
This is not going to go well. That's a gray screen. You know where I got this idea from? I was in the room one time, this guy came in. He was one of their groupies. And he comes in and he goes, why don't you do a gray screen? I got to see that black screen. That'd be embarrassing, man. You know what you're asking for, right? You do know that Pandora box you're about to open up is going to explode in your face. We've done these tests already before. So you know it's going to be pretty bad. You want to go with it? You want to spin that wheel? You want to cash that check out right now? He says, yeah, let's do this. I believe that our product's going to pull the better gray. Yeah. He was so young. Had such a future. And all like that, it just disappeared. Okay, let's move on. Dark gray. As you can see when I turn it, you see right there, it's the exact same color. That's the color it should pull up. See that color right there? Let's get a little closer to the screen for y'all. Come on. Let's get on over here. There we go. See right there? See that color? That's the color we have to mimic. That exact same color. Well, you see they're going to have a problem already. But let's go. So they can't see it. How do you not see gray and have a gray screen? All right, let's try this color right here. This should be a little better. That may pick up right there. That is a mid-gray. Let's see if that works. No, they can't see the mid-gray. Interesting. All right, let's go over here. This is light gray. With the light gray next. They definitely got to have it this time. Nah. No light gray. They all pick up the same color. Wow. Oh, well. They did try. Now, I know that you naysayers are probably ranting right now. Let me explain something to you. Go look up digital and crystal screen paint. If you haven't put your hand through a window, or you haven't bit down on a pillow and screamed into nothingness, then you would realize that at that particular era, before I was making this, I was making that. And a light version of that right there. That I was developing your product before you even knew who Mr. Berg was, which means the product that you have sitting on your wall is my technology. And the reason why is because these jerkers have been copying my work. So you're welcome. And the reason why I know the outcome of the product and how it's going to end up, they're just popping the top on the lid because I had tested that product on so many levels, it's not even funny. You know, it makes the network gray and the slip silver terrifying products at the end of the day to any gray screen paint maker. Because then those products didn't exist. You had to mix them. You had to mix that bare 1050. I'm sorry, the bare silver screen didn't exist. So you had bare 1050 and black paint. That's how you made your product. And you had to put your mixtures in. Some people put in light, some people put in more, some people put in less, and people add a little silver, they put a little glitter into it, and they would make their product. That's how they would make it. But then you had bare silver screen. And everybody thought that was silver, because silver is expensive at that particular time. Because let me take you back. At Home Depot, they used to have Martha Stewart. Martha Stewart's collection, Metallica collections, and that's what she sold at $8 at 8 ounces. That's what she sold, and a lot of people were going there and they were pouring that pearl silver into their paints. But the problem is that even I thought I was seeing it, you would never see it because it gets completely diluted by the Behr 1050 and the flat black paint. Now, the Behr 1050, the white paint, is considered to be your base. Your black paint is a toner. It allows you to adjust between your colors, or lighter or darker, or lighter or darker. And then they add silver into it because they think silver is going to heighten the white levels, but it doesn't. Once that black drops in, it's pretty much diminished. But then they add a little silver glitter in there to make it pop. When the camera hits it, when the projector hits it, it kind of it reflects, makes it bright. That's what they need it for. Now, depending on how much black paint you put in, controls your tone. If you put too much in, you can affect your white levels. If you don't put enough in, you can affect your contrast levels. And both of those combined together will have something to do with your color, whether or not it functions or not. But most people would go near a lighter product. That's what they would do. That was the magic number, the lighter product. Now, with the Behr silver screen, everybody thought that was silver. Come on, $23 for a gallon of silver paint, which is unheard of because you would usually get those 8 ounces for like $8, $9, or $12 or $13, depending on that collection. But somewhere along the line, Martha Stewart had some problems with Home Depot. And that's where they bought it in PPG or PPJ. I get those mixed up. Now that stuff came at $17 for 32 ounces, which was at that time $17 or $19, right around that price. Much cheaper than what you would pay for the Martha Stewart product, which is around $8 or $13 for 8 ounces of it. Or you can get a gallon of this stuff for $50, which is fantastic. But the Behr silver screen, everybody thought that was silver. Before PPJ or PPG, or they call it, came on the market, there was the Behr silver screen. And when people would buy it, which I bought one and bought it home, I thought it was silver, but it's not silver. It's like a really, really, really light gray. Almost near white when I was staring at it, because I thought I actually bought a white paint, but it was actually a kind of a really high silver. Not silver, like a kind of a light gray. So you have to drop black into that to tone it up. It would actually tone a lot faster than bone white paint, which would require more black paint. Now, when you're doing with products like darker products, like really dark products, like the UV mix, for instance, you don't take the base of being white. If the base is white and you're dropping in black paint, you're going to have to use so much black paint to darken that, it is going to take forever, and you're going to lose a lot of your resources. So what they would do to make a darker version of the product, because everybody was trying to match the diamond at one point, they would take the base and make it black. That way you would drop in the opposite. You would drop in white tablespoons or scoops of white paint into a black base, and that would convert it even faster. This will allow you to be able to adjust your tones and how dark you want this or how light you want it. That's how it was done. Now, if they're all sitting there talking about, oh, that's not true, well, I'll write a couple ingredients down right now. You can make it right now on camera. You tell me whether or not that doesn't match your product. But see the headache you would have to go through? You would have to do all that, this, that, and the other to get it to match, and the glitter and the silver and whatever, because you put too much glitter into it, then you got this Christmas tree effect that went off on your screen. Every time the camera hit, all these lights would be flashing back and forth because of the glitter, and if you didn't put enough silver into it and couldn't make the glitter pop, it became a headache to mimic other people's stuff. But now you have these products now, like Network Grade 773 and Slip Silver, that are a perfect tone of gray. That's what makes them dangerous, because there is no mixing. I sat there and said on camera, thank God I'm not making digital crystal screen paint on that level, because if I did, I'd be out of business. Because that product doesn't require any glitter. Doesn't require no silver, doesn't require black. You just take it off the shelf, paint it on, and you're done. Reacts the same way as the paints back then. It can't pull contrast, can't see color. White levels are and all in all, it reacts the same way. So that's why the test that they have to do, they have to pass them. Because if they don't, that means their product starts to drop. Now, for a long while, we were labeled to be, what's it called, Black Dynasty paint? I think that's what it is, right? We had that downstairs. We do those tests all the time in every demonstration. Matter of fact, we did one outside for fun. We don't match it. We don't match any sort of paint or anything. We've done all the demonstrations. We had to test it back. I didn't even draw it into screens with black paint. But the reason why they can't do that, because their products are those products at the end of the day. A gray screen paint product is outdated. Heck, the gray wall would do the same thing, no difference. But then people go in and they see the demonstration on the P2 projector and they think, oh, I'm gonna get that image right there. That's the image I'm gonna pick up. No, you're not gonna pick up that image. You have to have that same projector at $3,300 and you're still gonna be stuck in the dark. Can't be in a fully lit environment because your screen will wash out. It doesn't do the same thing as gunmetal technology. You can't see contrast over and all that other good stuff. You can't see it. It's not gonna pick up at all, period. It's just how it's gonna be. Reacts the same way as the old paints back in the day. That's why when I watch your demonstrations and I'm laughing on camera, because you are repeating the exact same thing that I did many years back and all the other people that were making gray screen paint products in that time when I was making them. You're showing nothing new. You're in the same dark environments or poorly lit environments. At that particular time, if you had a gray screen paint and you could produce with one light bulb in a room, that was considered to be impressive. There is no such thing as ambient light projection technology. It didn't even exist. It's not even posted anywhere, any of my videos back then, because it wasn't even heard of. The highest projector was 3,000 lumens. I had a 2,000 lumen NEC in my demonstrations. So, yeah, demonstrations you guys are showing off, nothing new. Old house paint products being introduced to newer projectors, that's all. Where in our demonstrations, we use old projectors and we introduce our projectors to old projectors to our new technology, which can take out up-to-date certified screens. Because if you use anything else besides those newer projectors, your screens will suffer and you can't be in those fully lit environments. Oh, and that's my black screen on an ultra short projector at 3,000 lumens. Now, see how we can see that white level? Now watch this. Starfield screensaver at YouTube. We can see white, but can you see black? Oh, you got me on here. There we go, down here. Can't transition. You can't go from contrast to white levels to color. You can't transition. And that's the problem near the end of the gray screen era. That's the problem they were having. When gunmetals came on, gunmetal screens could transition. They can go from a dark level to a white level to a color level with no problem. It was just very expensive, that's all. Red screen, YouTube.
Getting that from YouTube.
Showing you basic transition. Can't do it. So this is what I explain to you people. At the end of the day, the products that you're buying from, or if you purchase these products, you just put an old, outdated product up against your wall. And this is why I see demonstrations of you sitting in the dark, can't have your lights on, screen washes out. Got to pick and choose what you can use and what you can do at the end of the day. You spend all this money for a projector just to get only half of your machine at the end of the day. And those of you who have P2 projectors, what a waste of equipment. It is what a waste of equipment. If you're sitting in the dark with any ultra short throw projector, that's a waste of equipment. How are you sitting in the dark with a projector that sits that close to the screen with 3,000 lumens? We're kissing the wall. That's all messed up. And this is why in this demonstration, what did he say? He said the screen will get better for the customer once he calibrates the projector. We don't calibrate check. Gentlemen, gentlemen, your products are pathetic, they're old, they're outdated, and again, I can do this simple demonstration. Come on here, swap out projectors, put certified screens against our screens, blow your product out on 200 lumens, an ultra short though at 3,000 lumens, even a 4,000 lumen projector, and lay it right into the screen, and your products still don't pick up. And if I ask you, put this as a test, I can make this a challenge right now for you, and you still won't even be to get it done. And you have a nerd to basically talk about my product at the end of the day. Sad. Outdated house paint. Let me go back the product up. Let's turn off my projectors. And 3 projectors swap out. That's what I said in the demonstration, to use that same old crutch projector, because that's the only thing they can do at the end of the day. Look at this. Check out my projector. It's in eco mode too. My goodness. This is why we get the canceled orders. Because if your product ever did make it over here, this is what it would go through. It scares the daylights out of you, doesn't it? That if I even make a mention of having someone get your product, you're already scared to death. Hunting and sifting through your orders to see who's coming from us. Like the fellow who placed the order the first time, and then you got scared and you started sifting through your orders. Where's he at? Where's he at? I gotta find him. Where's he at? I can't let this order go. Oh, there he is right there. That's him. I got to cancel the order. That's pathetic. That's what you did. That's why the second order that came through was for the Cinemax. He was terrified because we got the first one. The Metallica mix popped up. We got it. And then he saw that. Boy, I mean, your heart must have sunk in like, oh, what the freak. You don't talk about that one, do you, too much, do you? Yeah, that's why you don't see the paint anymore on the website. Well, we tested the daylights out of that product. It failed in everything. Even matched house paint at the end of the day. We made it with $40 of house paint. That's why you don't see the 2.0 on the website anymore, because he pulled it, he had no choice. But you still should be pulling that other product, because that product didn't match house paint. But imagine that, sifting through his orders, trying to figure out, where is it? Where is he? That's him. That's got to be him. I cancel the order. That's sad. Jamie, that's real sad. But that's literally what I can do to you. I can make your life a living nightmare. I can basically make calls to have your product brought down here, but it's a waste of time. You can't even back your own stuff up, and I can go to Sherwin-Williams and save the time. Matter of fact, I got it right here as we speak. So what's the point? What's the point of me wasting my time, wasting their time to go get a product that I can just get from Sherwin-Williams because you can't back it up? You deleted the video, so that's all I needed you to do. Just get rid of the video. That's what we needed you to do. So we can acknowledge that you know and understand that your product is house paint. That's all I needed you to do. And you did exactly what I need you to do. So now all I got to do now is when I want to buy your product, I just get Sherwin-Williams. And if you ever run your mouth about saying that's not your what? All right, don't use that word too loosely. It is your product. If you beat that product, it'll be splattered all over YouTube. So it is your product. But like I said, you can't back your products up. Now, we went out and we had that guy go in and place that order. Oh, man, the paranoia that was going through him at the time. Because when you don't test your products properly, where you can't back them up, they're going to be scared at the end of the day about somebody really taking your stuff down and testing it. This is why we have batch numbers on all our products. We can do batch numbers, tests, back and forth. You see the simple demonstration I did here, Jamie? This is nothing. This is fun for us. We've done these demonstrations over and over, again and again and again. I can do projector swap outs. I can have the lights on. I can do whatever I want because at the end of the day, my technology is tested. I can walk into any boardroom, any conference, any business meeting and do the same thing. What paint a screen in, those certifieds against it, splash white paint against it, makes no difference because my product is tested. I have that 100% confidence level that my product works no matter what I throw at my screen at the end of the day. But you, on the other hand, you don't have that confidence level. That's why I have multiple cancellations from you with all kinds of personal messages about harassment. Leave me alone. Have a blessed day. Let me explain something to you, Jane, and crystal clear so you can understand it. Danny, we don't discuss you because, again, every time you sell something, you got to pay money out of your pocket, so you're already hurting enough as it is. As for, let's see, what's the word for it? when we had the people placing the orders, right? He went through a whole paranoid schizophrenic, trying to figure out who was placing and who wasn't. Why should you be worried about that? If your products are tested, why would you worry? Why would you be bothered? Why? Because your products don't work, that's why. So with that being said, when we placed the orders and the fellow got through and got the order through, because Jamie has a screening system that he puts you to make sure you are who you are because he's scared, he got one of the orders through. Popped up on the table, pretty sure his heart sunk right through his chest. I'm pretty sure Partey, yeah, I mentioned your name, your heart sunk through your chest, didn't you, when you saw my address pop up buying your product right there from the spot? Did you ship out my merchandise when I paid for it? You didn't, did you? You gave me every single penny back to my account. You were embarrassed so badly because, again, next time you walk around in your backyard talking about how I canceled an order, you better show receipts backing that up. You don't run your mouth about me at the end of the day and say that, oh, no, nobody. If I canceled an order, I want to see receipts. And to this day, we have not seen any receipts from either one of them of any orders they've ever placed. Actually, one of them on a 2.0, and that's it. 38, 39s, you don't even have those. We've been requesting receipts for those a while. Nothing yet. But the next time you run around your backyard, you will learn your lesson not to do that again because he paid for that one dearly. Yeah, this man went around walking around his backyard spreading rumors by saying that, oh, I canceled. Well, now I'll show you what a cancellation looks like because I ordered 7 orders from you and you canceled every single one of them. One of them, 2 of them we were able to obtain. Was about to order the 3rd one because we knew we were going to get a cancellation. I wanted for my collection, and he got scared and pulled the entire marketplace down with a 404 error code. That doesn't sound like somebody at the end of the day that can back their products. Because if your product gets down here, I'm going to test your whole system out. I'm going to test the daylights out of it. I'm even going to paint it an extra coat. As you said in your video, it would make it slightly brighter. Lie. We give him the opportunity to back our products up. I haven't done anything at all, period. So, with Jamie, he gets paranoid, but the other one, he can't back his products up, and he couldn't afford to keep his website open because, again, it costs too much to make his product. He shot himself in the foot with that one. As for Jamie, on the other hand, his products don't work at all. And we've had his products down here before. Before Jamie started doing the whole cancellation thing, we got a couple of his orders down here. As a matter of fact, there's a video that goes back on, he only has place of business on eBay. And in that conversation I was having with him back and forth about his product, he kept raising the price on his product to keep me from buying it. It doesn't sound like a person that has a lot of confidence. So I bought your product several times. Now, you didn't know that, Jamie, but again, you're not a smart person. And the reason why I say this is because when you show your price changing over and over and over again within a couple of minutes apart, you leave a red flag on eBay's behalf because they can see now your price gouging, which we can come in and easily say, yeah, he was gouging his price because it shows a record of you changing the price every couple of minutes. Stupid. You left a money trail for yourself. That first violation his account got hit with. Doing dumb stuff. Now, after the multiple cancellations of the product, I think it was the Metallica 2.0, we tried to, he gave up an excuse, the reason why that he couldn't ship out the product was because our address was unshippable. We had 2 of your items come directly to the house, showed delivered, which we were able to post a tracking number and information showing that it was delivered to the house, and it did reach destination, which shows that our address was shippable. And then when all else failed, he pulled his eBay listing. You guys are sad at the end of the day. So, because he got paranoid, because someone got through and ordered, now Jamie sends me a letter. This is the famous letter we post everywhere. In the letter, he says, buy all you want, do not worry. Because again, by him coming directly to me, he doesn't have to worry about me sending someone out to get his product, and then he doesn't have to go through the paranoid of figuring out who's placing the orders from us or for. Why should you be having that issue anyway if your product works? But anyway, who's placing the order? Who's not from you? Who's not from us? Which one is it? It's a bit confusing. It's like someone throwing a bunch of keys in the middle of the floor and saying one of those keys is the right one to the door. So to cut down on that craziness, to kill some of your stress, you send me this letter by saying that, hey, Order with confidence. Order all you. Did you have any idea the Pandora box that you were opening when you sent me that letter? It's kind of like the first Pandora box was as small as a jewelry box, right? But when you gave me that letter, that jewelry box turned into a trash dumpster. Because I was going to order whatever I wanted. Because someone sits there and says, order what you want. Like, credit card, ding, let's go for it. Man, I went through a site, man, like crazy, man. I was ordering everything. Bought that. I bought the Frankenstein. I bought the hybrid mix. I was buying all his products. I bought everything he had in his shopping cart. Just like that. I thought, oh, this is going to be fun. This is cool. Because I like it better this way because it's being shipped directly to the house. It'll be here. I can do the testing on it. Let's see if this stuff really works at the end of the day. Guess what? Cancellation. 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 And then I got to the point where after like 13 cancellations in, it got to the point where we just started making games of it because we knew we were going to get cancellated. So I was curious how fast I would get my money put back on my account. So I ordered the Frankenstein, posted a video that said we're going to get the Frankenstein mix today, or we're going to get it in a couple of days for review. And he comes in and sends me, look, not today, buddy, you're not getting this product, and cancels it. We even shot a video of us testing your product, failing on a red screen as we placed the order to see which one would finish first. We got the stuff back even faster on that one. And then your naysayers came into the room. We had fun with them. I put in an open mic. I said, okay, look, I'm going to ask you guys a question. I'm going to place an order right now. Do you believe I'm going to get this product or it's going to get canceled? Do you know that not one of them said anything? Your Crow Boys came in the room and we gave them an option. We say, look, I'm going to place an order right now on the site. Do you believe that we're going to get the product or is it going to be canceled? They didn't say anything. They didn't trust you, Jamie, because they knew that you were going to throw them under a bus. Because if they sat in that room with all those people and said, yes, he's definitely going to ship it out. You're definitely going to get it. And nothing, you cancel the order, that's going to make them look pretty bad. So they said nothing. That's pretty bad. And this is where we received all the messages and, harassments and all that stuff. And we kept sending all these messages over top the receipts by saying harassment. How is the harassment? How are we messing up your vacation if you send me a letter telling me to buy whatever I want? So I went in and bought whatever I wanted. And because I bought whatever I wanted, I was considered to be banned from your site and all this other nonsense, man. You pulled a full-blown Karen on us. Just back it up. You can't back your products up, man. Can't back your products up. That's all. This is why I don't waste the time on buying your products anymore. It's a waste of our time. Even dealing with you is a waste of our time. Right now, this is a waste of my time. I got things to do. But what had me laughing the most was how you stated that your products, 2200 lumens. Again, that's pretty bad for a gray screen. There you go, Jamie. Aren't these your canceled orders? Right there. These are all posted on forum sites. This has your messaging that you have on there. Are you carrying on and acting up, being very unprofessional? This is you, ain't it? This is your products right here. This is your canceled orders. PayPal accounts that you lost, or actually PayPal disputes that you lost. Can't back your products up, man. That's bad. Now, while we're out there doing business, there's your famous letter right there. As we're doing business out there, and if your name ever comes up, and I doubt it will ever come up, but if it does, we'll just send over your videos, your product being house paint, and we'll send over your receipts that are locked into your website showing you that you canceled every single order. And not only did you cancel every single order, but the nasty messages you left on top of it. And I guarantee you, they won't touch you. No one will touch you when we get done out there. Let me see. Do we got anything else we need to do with this Cinemax? Is he downstairs? Let me check. He should be downstairs. Let me get your Cinemax over here. Shoot, your customers better worry about the end of the day. They could be very well just getting a container of Cinemax, not Cinemax, a container of network grade 773, and they couldn't even tell. Because you couldn't tell. Apparently, because you got rid of your video. You want to use this, Mr. Top Gun? Like, what's that for? What do you think it's for? Gotta keep reminding you about that sad clown paint. I call it clown paint because it is. It's sad. Cheating your customers on some house paint. Lying on camera, paying back up your price at the end of the day. Sad. Poor excuse for products. You better be thankful I don't know who that church is at the end of the day, because it's my Christian duty to tell them that they got robbed. Sold them everyday house paint. No test behind the back of it. Stealing from Christians at the end of the day. Let me tell you something, Jamie. If you're willing to have a video like that network grade 773 matching your product, and you're still selling that junk on your website, trying to convince customers that's something new, even adding a couple of football images in there to try to dress it up a little bit. You can cheat people even more off that fake house paint that you call a screen paint at the end of the day. How much more? You're probably cheating churches out there at the end of the day too, because if you stole from your customers, you steal from a church. Because I'm pretty sure you didn't show them that demonstration. Gotta bring this back a little bit. I want to get closer, not that close. I don't need to do any testing against your Cinemax. You did it for me. You did all that for me. When you did the testing, when you deleted the video, you did all that for me. I don't got to do anything else. That's it. Anybody who asks us about your product, and it's rare, we just show them the video. That's it. And then we show them your website, and you still selling house paint. Stealing from people. Here you go. But if you want, you can point me to your test page, and maybe I can check out your test. No, I forgot you don't have any. You don't have any. Neither one of you. Part testing your site. You don't have any test demonstration. You have nothing on there. Stole from a church. That's sad. Look, you ain't got a hold of them. I'll show them that video. You explain to them how your product is matching house paint. Yeah, I look forward to 8 o'clock tonight. I will be going to your website to see if those videos are there. $4,000 lumens sitting right up on top of the screen. My Chrissy. You can't even see jack on that product. This is what would have happened to your screen paint. You got her hands on that. Oh, we did have the product. The freak. Keep forgetting the customer hooked this up. That was pretty sad, dude. I like the customer. Thank you so much for the customer who did that. I do appreciate that. Thank you so much. But the fact that he went into that huge, massive rant, like, oh, that's not my product. It was not your what? Your product matched in that demonstration. And then turn around and match in the demonstration oh, come on. That's sad, Jim. That's real sad. And then you still sell the product on your website. Still stealing from customers any way you can get your hands on. Even stole from a church. That's really bad. You know better than that. You should be stealing from churches, man. How was you raised? What lies did you tell him at the end of the day? The reason why he's staying away from that slip silver? Ooh, that's never good. That slip silver would definitely tear him. It's gonna match this product. It's gonna match. He pretty much did it off camera. Pretty sure he did. I'm pretty sure. Did it off camera. Found that it matched. You know what? Slip silver is dangerous. The slip silver is dangerous because the slip silver can be bought from anywhere. Which means if you're an overseas customer, instead of you paying $168 for some freaking house paint, you can go right over to freaking, you can go right over to freaking Amazon and pick up that product for $17.03. A gallon of it will be $46.76. That's what you'll be paying right there. And you can buy from anywhere, which means your shipping charge, no surcharge fee, none of that. But he won't do the demonstration. And after asking him, I think we asked him like, my goodness. We asked him over 5 times. We sent over 5 different links straight to his messenger for him to buy the paint directly from Amazon, and hasn't done it. I'm curious. I'm going to type that in right now. Well, I'm going to get this thing to activate first. And I'm going to type that in right now because I'm curious. I don't like to talk about things because maybe he did it. Now, I mean, I could be wrong at the end of the day. I might be wrong. I'm going to go check. I got to go check. Because I don't want to talk about something and maybe he did do the demonstrations. Now, how I found out about the network gray, it's the fact that this guy calls my house about buying the 38, which he never did buy. And I asked him, well, I had him on the phone. He says, you know, you're in a live stream. I said, yeah, I don't care. I said, I got to ask you a question. I said, did you do the network gray 773? And he said, yeah, I did 2 videos on it. Fine, we went to go track him down. Sure enough, we found him. Then I asked him, did you do the black and white paint challenge? Did he do any of those? That's his own product. So he said, I'll do that today. That was never done. So we tracked down the videos. We found them. They were right there on the count. When I went through them, boy, I was laughing my head off. I said, you got to be kidding me. This guy couldn't have been that stupid to match that screen that close and to really think at the end of the day that he beat that screen. And sure enough, sending it off to a lot of people were staring at it, because then I realized who were the people in the comments section. So we went and zoomed down in the comments section. It was all trolls in there. There was no customers in there. I got the video that all trolls in there. So what we did was we gave the video some advertisement time. We sent it to informed sites, every place we can hit at, and we asked for that honest opinion. What do you think? Which one, did they look the same or did they look different? Everybody says, what I'm looking at here, they both look the same. Now, asking him to put that same video directly onto his website so everybody can see it, that was a little too much for him. That's why he decided to go in and remove the videos. And that's how we got caught. So, I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt. I think you did the demonstration. I always try to give people the benefit of the doubt. I think you did the demonstration. I think you did the slip silver. How come your screen paint doesn't work? Look at that. Look how close my projector is. Oh, we got to do a demonstration on this one today. Why gray screen paint products and why white screen paint products are a waste of time for your projector. 4,000 lumen. I should bring the Christie up here. I should bring the Christie 5,000 lumen up here. Oh, heck yeah, I'm getting that monster. 1480p 5,000 lumen. Definitely gotta bring that up here. Here we go. We're going to bring up the big boys. 5,000 lumens, 1920 by 1200, Chrissy LW505. If you don't pick up on this one, it's not gonna be good. You said your product's a venue, right? Now, again, if you feel that I'm wrong in this demonstration, feel free to go pick up some Network Gray 773 and get some slip silver while you're at it. I would appreciate that. And do those demonstrations today. And the same amount of lighting we're using in here. I don't care how close you are to the screen, it doesn't make a difference to me. Just can't match it, that's all. So let me see what we need to find here. Let's see. Microblend, slip silver. I'm in caps for some reason. Oh yeah, right. No one. Let me turn this off. I want to put in the Chrissy 505, the bigger projector in. That's 4,000 lumens at 720p. Let's bring in a full 1080p projector. Let's see what we get. The white screen's not big enough for jack. You would pop up here. This is where you would pop up at. So, let's see. Pop up. So this is how we found them. Because it wasn't going through his channel. 2 months. The video was 2 months old. It took me too long to go through his channel and try to find it. So all we had to do was type it in. Because that means it would have popped up right from the door the minute we typed it in. So let's get this in real quick. All I see is us. I'm going to put your name in. Let's see if you pop up. Jamie, this is going to be pretty embarrassing. I built a company, all new products tested, already done. And you mean to tell me you haven't done this demonstration yet? But let me see, let me give you the benefit of the doubt first before we say he could have did the demonstration. Well, that ain't you, that's all us. Can we get a view all? How many we got on here, view all? That's us, this is all us. That's us. That's us. Not even there, buddy. Let's go check on page 2. Let me see. That's us. That's us. This is all us. You ain't up here, man. We're in page 2 of Google, and there's nothing there. Let me give you the benefit of the doubt. I'm gonna give you the benefit of the doubt here. I'm gonna put down Pro. 1176. Let's see if you come up. This is how we found you through microblend, the microblend products. This is how we found you. As a matter of fact, you said you uploaded the video, so we should be able to pull them up too also too. All right, let's check that too. Make sure we check this out for a minute. Hit this again. Yep, still all us. All right, that's just us right there. You're not in here. Nowhere to be found. Look at this, requesting. 3 times we requested him to do that. Nothing there. Wow, nothing there, buddy. You didn't do jack, did you? Nothing at all. Okay, I'm gonna give you a benefit of the doubt. Let's track what your name is. Let's see, maybe I'm wrong here. Maybe I'm wrong. 1176, right? 76. Make sure to give you the benefit of the doubt, right? Crow 1176, that's you, right? Let's see if you pop up. Maybe you did the demonstration, I don't know. Nothing there. You should have came up on the first ones. Nothing at all, period. Let's keep scrolling down. That's us, man. That's not you. You're not coming up. You should have been the first one to come up. You're not there. So you didn't do the demonstrations. Oh, man, that's sad, man. I would have thought you would have tried to back your product up at the end of the day. But then again, I told you people at the end of the day, what did I say? I said that the Network Grade 773 was a pretty hard video he had to go through. It was pretty bad for him, pretty bad. And he never ever wants to experience that ever again. To be bought on live again and to be told that he would have to do that same demonstration again. Now, I'm pretty sure off camera he did buy the product and he did test it. I'm pretty sure he did. And I think he found out something that his product would have matched it. And because of that, that's the reason why you don't see the demonstrations. I'm not going to bother giving you a request. There's no point. What's the point of giving you a request? What's the point? You can't do the demonstration. That's what it comes down to. I try to give you the benefit of the doubt that maybe you could do it, but you can't do it. It's impossible for you to do. Okay, well, you're off the hook. You don't have to do it. Don't worry, I'm not going to press you anymore. There's no point because you can't do it. I understand that. But also, too, with that being said, you really should not be charging your customers anything for your product. You should be giving it to them for free, like you were doing when you first started out, because your product is not worth what you say it is. And do slips, so that's freaking pathetic. Expect something better. Not gonna waste your time to go to your YouTube channel and look at a bunch of fake videos. You can't pass basic house paint, you're not worth anyone's time. And the fact that the reason why you're not worth our time is going through your YouTube channel because, again, you're selling a product on your site that's house paint. 2 of your products match house paint. That personal next to bare silver screen and that Network Gray 773, which is now called the Cinemax. And I looked for your video, I didn't find one. I even put your name at the top right there. Crow 1176, microblend, slip silver. Nothing came up, nothing. Now, when we went to go look for your product under the Network Gray 773, his videos were the first one to pop up right there, showing that he did do the demonstrations. I don't know. So a bigger question is, what is in the rest of those paints? Because I do know the hybrid mix, the personal mix, and the Cinemax would have a really hard time, especially hybrid. Hybrid would have an extremely hard time next to Network Grade 773. Because the hybrid mix and the Cinemax matched side by side they look exactly like each other. That was the problem with that. So for me, seeing that alone allowed me to understand that if you put network grade 773 next to the hybrid mix, it would have matched perfectly with no problem. It would have blended in. The hybrid mix pulls a much higher white level because it's a little lighter. So that would easily be the dominator's product, no problem. So that's the reason why you're not seeing the test demonstrations being done. And that's why they're ranting and carrying on. When they come in the room, they're upset, they're angry, asking simple questions. That's why. They're irritated, they're frustrated. They're busted. That's what it comes down to, you know? So, we tested this stuff on 4,000 lumens, now we're at 5,000 lumens. We did it at ultra short though. We did it at pico. And this is just to show you at the end of the day that the gray paint can't pick up, can't see. I can see clearly now that the rain is gone. But apparently, rain ain't gone for you guys. You guys are in the middle of a typhoon. This stuff can't see anything. 5,000 lumen, crispy projector on a gray screen, and this is not going to go well. Right now, I'm telling you, it's not going to go well. Let's fire up. I ain't going to tell people your stuff works on venue projectors. That crap don't work on venues. When you work on ultra short those, we couldn't even get a Brookstone Pico projector, couldn't even produce on that mess. That is pathetic. That's what happens when you do demonstrations trapped in the dark. So what are you going to tell your customer? They got to spend the money for a special projector to get it to work? That is pretty bad, man. You got to bring up the crispy, the big boys. 5,000 lumen projectors, the monsters, the monsters. Spray paint ain't picking up on anything. Man, I better not hear you ever say out of your mouth, oh, that ain't the same as my product. My product is different. Yeah. I saw the demonstration on the blacklist, whatever. And a couple other people saw it too. As a matter of fact, there's another person walking around just mimicking his account, calling himself Crow. That's right there, basically putting them on blast. That's what you happens when you cheat your customers at the end of the day. You steal from them and you give them house paint. How about you? Some of you right now got house paint right now. You don't even know what you got at the end of the day. You don't know what you got in those containers at the end of the day. Non-tested paint that's matching house paint. How's that working out for you? Just primed your wall. That's what you just did. There we go. Good gracious, it's only bad. Okie doke. Told you. 5,000 lumens. Do. You want 2,000 lumens, ultra short throw. All of them failed. Didn't pick up anything. Look at this, man. This is what we do today. Projector swap out. No rehearsed environments, none of that nonsense. And we got the lights on over here. This is what we want to do today. On a gray screen paint product, network gray 773 slash Cinemax. Ultra short though, failed on it. Pico projector, failed on it. 4,000 lumen 720p venue projector, failed. And now we got a crispy LW 505 5,000 lumens, not 1920 by 1200 full 1080p venue projector. Can't even see the screen color. Sees it on ours, no problem. Blue screen. Oh, YouTube blue screen.
Getting that from YouTube.
That's sad, man. How many people you cheat on that mess? Let me see here. Slow color change out.
Sorry, I'm not sure about that.
YouTube slow color change out.
Getting that from YouTube.
fast your screen washed out when I pull those curtains back? There you go. Get a little color in there. But when I pull those curtains back, does a real light hit that screen? Nah, not gonna work. If you have any one of these screens painted on your wall, you just cheated the daylights out of your projector. That's why y'all calibrated. Inform sites. So I need to calibrate. I gotta calibrate. It's not working. I gotta calibrate. We gotta calibrate. Calibrate, 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 calibrate. You know what calibrate means in my world? AKA your screen can't see color. They calibrate white screens, really. You should not be calibrating a projector. Ambient light controlled environments. AKA, you don't have ambient light rejection technology. That's pretty bad. Now, gentlemen, instead of you, now mind you, I came on here, I had this demonstration, I showed off your fake products at the end of the day why they don't work, and now I come in here and I show you why it doesn't work. See how I do things? Thorough and by the book. We swapped that with multiple projectors. We started off with a 200 lumen Pico projector. You couldn't pull, even when we kissed the screen. We came in here with a 4,000 lumen projector, 720p venue, still couldn't see. Came in here with an ultra short throw projector, kissed the screen, 3,000 lumens, still can't see. Now we're in here with a whopping LWU505 Chrissy venue projector at 5,000 lumens. And guess what? Your screens still don't pick up. This is why you use demonstrations on ultra short throw projectors in dark environments and calibrated projectors to make up for what your screens can't do. And this is why all your customers sit in the dark. Because if they turn any lights on, that screen's going to wash out. There's nothing wrong with their equipment unless it's not with anything. I don't know about that at the end of the day. It doesn't work with your stuff. But anyway, as I said before, there's nothing wrong with their projectors. The problem is your screens don't work. They're too old. They're relics. They're dinosaurs. They've been back a long time. And what you try to do is you try to take these old products, introduce them to high-end projectors, stick them in dark environments, and say, this is the image that you're picking up. Well, if that's the case, then that Epson 955WH would have picked up the exact same video or contrast as the P2, but it didn't. The colors were washed out. The contrast was washed out. It looks so sad at the end of the day. You couldn't produce proper color off that thing. And you had nerve to sit there in the middle of that room and try to say, look, it's pulling a contrast level. It didn't even match the bezel. The black bezel around your freaking screen didn't even match it. Didn't match the speakers, nothing at all. You were picking up gray. Seriously, what magical mushrooms did you freaking eat at the end of the day? Where in the world would you even get the idea that a gray screen of that caliber, not even gunmetal at that gray screen is going to pick up a contrast level equal to a black screen, and then you got it displayed on your website, all ultra short throw laser projectors showing off to give off an illusion to your customers that they're really picking up, they're going to pick that level up if they buy that product? Please. You guys are freaking scam artists, man. And then you got a nerve, and don't get upset. Don't get mad when you go, oh, you're wrong, I'm not a scammer. Yes, you are a scammer, Jamie. You are a scammer. Well, okay, and put it this way. What cracked? What went loose in your head for some reason that you don't have a reality of reality? What kind of bubble are you in at the end of the day? Listen to me carefully when you watch this video later on or if you're in the room. Your product matched a house paint. Do you understand me when I say this to you? You're the kind of person that somebody has to grab by the head and go, look, man, your stuff matched the house paint. And not only did it match the house paint, Jamie, do you understand this? You still sell the product on your website as if it didn't exist. Which means to those people who have your product and did that same demonstration, you spit in their face. And for the other half, well, you're pretty much just laughing at them. So why is that product still on your website? It shouldn't be there at all, period. It needs to be removed. As a matter of fact, all your products need to be removed. And you know why? because you have no tests in any of them. How many of your products match house paint? What are your customers really getting in the mail? Are they getting a product that works? Are they getting house paint? So, Jamie, you don't understand. That's the problem. That's the reason why you're going to have all sorts of problems coming your way. Do you know that for every time that you shipped out one of your products, and if they weren't what they're supposed to be, that's a count of mail fraud? Did you know that? That if any one of your customers, any one of them, take your product and they basically do that test and it matches or basically shows something that it's not supposed to be doing, you have no way to back this up, and you use United Postal Service to commit these acts, not only do you have to deal with our charge, what their charge we filed against you, but you'll have to deal with every single individual, which means they will go through all your accounts, buddy, at the end of the day, to figure out who's who. Any customer at the end of the day could nail you with this so easy, it's not funny. Now, you could probably sit there and say, well, they could do that. No, actually, they can't, because my product's tested and all my products have batch numbers attached to them, showing the product fully being tested before it was ever shipped to the customer, tested before the customer could ever get his hands on it, backing my product on every level you can possibly think of. So, no, that doesn't fall under my guideline. That falls under your guideline because you're the one that has YouTube videos, multiple YouTube videos, showing your products matching house paint, and then showing you removing the videos off the account, which shows an act of guilt. So you better pray that you already got to worry about us at the end of the day. We already filed. We're ready to go. You better worry about the rest of your customers. You get a customer that gets ticked off at the end of the day, oh man, they can hit you with a fraud charge. And you already have fraud charges filed against you, which means when they go digging around, if anybody else pops up with more fraud charges, that's even worse for you. That's just going to add fuel to the fire. All right. Now, if they were to argue with somebody and say, well, why didn't you take it back? I can't take it back. Look at the policy he has on this website. On his website clearly says, but then again, they might blame them for that, for not seeing that one. But anyway, it clearly says on the website that if it lands on the property, it's mine. If I open it, it's mine. Because that's the way you set it up. You set it up to steal from your customer. Which is interesting because you got eBay scam going on too. We noticed that too. We found that too. The eBay scam, he charges people for shipping. He charges them $21 for shipping. But on his website, it's free. But when he ships it on an eBay account, he ships you over a post office mailer, which is around $8.49. That's $9 now. So where do you get $21 from? And the reason why the eBay account is extremely dangerous, and I'll tell you why it's very dangerous, because on the listing of the product, he has Crow Screen Paint Mix. It doesn't exactly tell on your credit card or debit card receipt what you actually ordered. You don't have the name of the product of what you ordered. That's why we went through the website, because on the website, we would have a transaction number and all that information would pop up, and we would have exactly the detailed order, what we ordered, so we could fight if we ever had something came up. That's why you don't go pay the eBay listing. It's a scam. So why do you have free shipping on one site and no free shipping on the other site? That doesn't make any sense at all. That's because on that site, what you're doing is you're charging people $21, too much money for shipping, and you're shipping it in a mailer. You're not shipping that in a, even at $14 in a box, that's still too much money. It's only one quart. How is one quart costing you $21? And if you're talking about any kind of express shipping, for what I've seen in your timeline, your date, that's not express. If you ship it by mailer, that's 2 to 3 in the United States. Yeah, you're a scammer, man. So you didn't do the whatchamacallit, as I can see, you didn't do the slip silver, so we knew you weren't going to do that. We knew that from the door you weren't going to do it. Yeah, you're definitely a thief. real quick. Ah! I tell you, people, happy that we put pressure on people, are we not? His price is now $40. You know what that tells me, Carl, at the end of the day? That you're starting to crumble. You had to change your paint to 40 bucks because you didn't have a choice, because no one would buy it or no one would touch it. That's what you just told me right there. And if your product was $80 at one point, and I told everybody from the door, the average screen paint is supposed to be under 50 bucks because it's an old product. That's why. Even at 2.0, that can do demonstrations that your product couldn't even begin to even think of, it's $38. And at $90, you get 3 containers, which this is what everyone else charges. For 90 bucks, you get 3 of them instead of getting 1. He was charging 90 bucks. So now I see your price is at $40.95. There you go. That's where you're supposed to be at, because that's your product is old. If you're trying to compare your product to us, don't have that right. Because again, we can back our products, you can't. Now you're starting to wake up and see. I've been telling you all that for a long time, that his product was supposed to be $40, under 50 bucks. Somebody's listening when we tell them things. Told you. I told you I've been on this business longer than you have, buddy boy. Now you probably will make some coin in your pocket, but you're still going to have to back that up to house paint at the end of the day. Because keep in mind, you made accusations you can't keep, and you have to follow through on those accusations. Your product is worth $40 because it's a house paint. So the same price you have here needs to reflect on your website now. And at that network gray 773, whatever that stuff match, you need to remove it off your website. Completely remove it off. Until you can show some kind of demonstration of you beating the network gray 773. If you have a demonstration where you could beat that product, then you can go in and mark your product for $40.95, under $50. Look at y'all, the naysayers that came into the room and you thought you paid all that money for that paint. I told you what it was worth, didn't I? I told you under 50 bucks. That's what it's worth. He's charging too much for his product. It's outdated. When you can take on certified screens that cost $3,000 to $5,000 screens, the price that I charge on my product is completely cheap. The people who I'm hooking up with when I come offline want to get $3,000 a quart, and they got the clients to pay for that product. They couldn't care less about you people in between. If you ain't got it, then that's your problem at the end of the day. That's how they feel. Me, on the other hand, I don't feel that way. I feel that everybody should have a high-performance screen at the end of the day, and it shouldn't cost you $3,000 to $5,000. But there are a field of people that do want to market that product for that price, and they couldn't give a rat's behind whether or not you can afford it or not.
Great ideas can come from anywhere.
Now, at the end of the day, would I lose any sleep over that? Yeah, probably would. Because I didn't market my product. A lot of my friends that I have on my account, and people I do business with every day, that I have my families that I call my family because they're my friends I work with. Those are my people I sign contracts with that were my customers. And I became friends with these people because I was able to offer a product that they know at the end of the day, they don't want to spend $3,000 and $4,000 for projectors. They don't want to be stuck in dark environments. They don't want none of that nonsense in the day. And my product can back itself up. So for the price of what I charge for my product is extremely cheap to what I know people at the end of the line want to charge more money for it. If I decide to sell out and give it to one of these high-end companies, what do you think that screen is going to cost you? If a gunmetal costs you $3,000 to $5,000, what do you think a black screen will cost you? So by us staying where we're at, we even the playing field by a lot. But the product that he's trying to sell is an old product. It has been around for a long time. And the fact that they're taking those old products, trying to introduce them to high-end projectors, make them look like something that they're not, is wrong. The fact that they don't have any testing, no proper testing under the products is wrong. That product is only worth under 50 bucks. Now, what he needs to do is he needs to take the Cinemax, which you still have it listed here. You shouldn't have it listed there. The Cinemax is a product that matches the house paint. You call the personal mix the IB personal. You need to show a demonstration that that product is not matching Bear's silver screen. If it doesn't match Bear's silver screen, then you can basically call it what you want, but you'll have to be able to do that demonstration because you were accused and you were caught doing this, and this was a video that was removed off your account. Network grade 773, guess what? You got to put that against the Cinemax. If you can't back it up and you can't prove that your product is not the same as a shelf paint, then guess where that got to go? You got to remove that, clean off the website like you did with the Metallica Mix 2.0. It's got to be removed. But at least he's starting to acknowledge the worth of his product. As I told you, everybody on there is selling their products for under 50 bucks. I hope that's not a sale, my friend. Looks like a sale you're having there. Hope that's not a sale, because that needs to be your price. It'll stay that way for a while. But so then, you gotta start to back those products up to house paint, man. Gotta do all those tests. All the tests we do over here, if you want to compare yourself to us at the end of the day, you gotta do the same tests we do over here. Gotta do them. But at least that reality kicked in. Now you got to turn around and you got to go in and you got to basically do the same thing. That hybrid mix is very questionable. Because I told you I saw that demonstration with the hybrid mix next to oh, did he put that Metallica mix back in there? Oh, Jamie, come on. You know better than that. You should never have that in there. You know better than that. Oh, people. I feel sorry for y'all. Y'all just getting fleeced left and right. Do you see what that's doing right there? Okay, hold on for a minute. Sorry about that. This is not going to go well for you guys. Metallica mix. I thought you wouldn't do that one there. You're doing a little sneaky stuff, man. But you're basically you're just switching back and forth. You're just items you should not be selling. You're putting them in areas they shouldn't be at. The reason why you can't sell the Metallica Mix Crow because that was the first screen paint that you developed, that you gave away for free. That's why. And it's 2 tablespoons of flat black paint into white paint. And even the video is labeled Metallica Mix. But you shouldn't be doing that. You know better than that. Come on, man. You're just stealing from your customers left and right. This is a shame, man. But then again, you're selling the paint on your product right now to match house paint. So, you know. Here we go. Right there. Okay, how we doing out there? First things first. Let's have a look at this. Jamie, what would you do? You just don't care, do you? You rob your customers any chance you can do. Any chance you get, you rob your customers. That's the Metallica mix, people. That is a demonstration that Jamie has making it out of a black and white paint product. See, it has the ingredients right there. 2 tablespoons of flat black paint. That's the same product you're selling over there. So you're selling the product that, again, is house paint. Man. I feel sorry for your customers. I do. The paint, excuse me, he's selling on eBay is a metallic mix. It is exactly the same product he's going to make here on camera. And if you haven't seen this video before, well, we have it because somebody sent it to me. And I think 3 other people have it. And of course, he got rid of the video. Sad thing about it is when we made this product, we didn't put it against, we put it against an opposite product. We put it against the personal mix, and it matched the personal mix perfectly. And when it did that, then we realized that all his products were just a couple of shades off of black and white paint. There you go. So that is in the title of the video. There it is, Metallica projection screen paint mix. And then right here, on his eBay account, he's got it right there. Wow, that is, that's pretty jacked up. Gee whiz, man, you just have no end to stealing from your customers. Wow, Jamie, you mean, you really have a video out there making, well, we got the video now, making a product out of black and white paint, and then this is the same product in the video showing him making the same thing. And then, okay, that's pretty bad. That is really, really bad. That is really bad. So what are you buying on your receipt? So on your receipt, this is what's going to come up. It's going to say Pro Cinemax HD Pro Projection Screen Paint Mix Hybrid and Metallica. So which one are you getting? Because this is what's going to show up on your receipt. Oh, he added in free shipping. See, that's what I'm saying. You're doing a little better, man, because he was scamming people on the $21, and he's getting caught. This is why we put pressure on Crow, is so he stopped doing dirty stuff like this, charging people $21. And you may think, Crow, in the back, oh, I got you. You can't get me this time. No, you should have changed that from the first beginning. That should have never been on there at all. If you have a website where you're giving away free shipping, and then on the other one you're charging $21, and we bust you on it, and I'm gonna call you out on it. Now, it's your duty to go in and change that to free shipping, because it should be free shipping. And then you're charging $21 and you're shipping a 32-ounce container and an $8.49 mailer, or now it's $9.49 mailer, which means what's going on with the extra money, which means you're keeping that. So that's good. We're closing down your shop. Because at the end of the day, you should have had free shipping. If you got free shipping on your website, it should be free shipping on your eBay account. And when I told you that your product is worth under 50 bucks, it should be charged under 50 bucks. Which means on your website, you need to find the product. Well, I don't know how that's going to freaking work at the end of the day, because you still got to test that stuff against house paint. Either way, you still got to test it. And you got 2 products up here that are basically house paint. You have one option here for the Cinemax. We know that's house paint. And then you got the Metallica mix, which is definitely house paint, because it shows a tutorial video of you making that paint. Good gracious, man. You got no freaking respect for your customers, man. Look at that right there. That is pretty bad, man. Tells you how to make it right there on the thumbnail. So how in the world are you charging money for this? Even at 40 bucks, that's too much money. You just showed them how to make a free product, and you're going to charge them money for it. You know what, people? Didn't want to do this, but we ain't got a choice. You see why I make these videos? You see the change that comes when we catch these jokers doing things they shouldn't be doing at the end of the day? I sat there and told you you should not be charging $90 for that screen paint being that old and no test behind it. Now he's got it at 40 bucks, under 50 bucks. So you see change right there. I told you that he was going on eBay and he was charging people $21 for shipping on an $8 at the time, 49 cents post office mailer. What are you doing with the extra money? Busted him on that. Now it's free shipping now. Now that other nonsense he got on their website, that Metallica mix shouldn't be, when Metallica mix is not on the website. The Cinemax should definitely shouldn't be on the website, especially after being caught. But he can't remove that. You know why he can't remove that? Because that's a lot of pride at the end of the day. That's supposed to be his flagship. He will go down with a sinking ship with that one at the end of the day. He will not remove it for anything. He doesn't care if he's caught, well, he's just caught busted red-handed. He's not going to remove it. Because he removes it, boy, that is going to really hurt. It hurt him to do this at the end of the day, but he should have done it a long time ago. You got a product that's not tested. A 2.0 is tested at the end of the day. Your product's not. 2.0s can pull up in fully lit environments. Your products can't. 2.0s can take out certified screens. 2.0 can do demonstrations on ultra short, those inside and outside. You can't do any of those demonstrations at all. And that costs $38 to $90 for 3 40-ounce containers. Not 332, 340s. So, again, your product isn't worth what you say it is. It's worth way less. The Cinemax should not be on your website. That needs to be gone. And the Metallica mix, you got a nerve to freaking sell that product after you just showed a demonstration how to make it. It's sitting right there on the page. The ingredients is right there on the page. And there you are making the product right there. And you got a nerve to be selling this product on your eBay account as one of the options to choose the Metallica mix. That is pretty bad. Well, we gotta put some more pressure on you, man. I got time today. I got light work to do today. I got contracts, negotiations, and I got a few freaking contracts I have to redesign because now I'm going to a new state. I'm not going to be here anymore, so I got to change the contracts over to where I'm going to be at. And then I got to basically do 2 more video demonstrations on the screen behind me and a couple downstairs. But I can knock down time. That's light work. I'm used to doing heavy work anyway. But I got to pay attention to this one right here. Dude, this is scamming on a whole nother level. He brought the Metallica mix back. Wow. My goodness. Charging money for a free mix. You're sad, dude. We're coming back in. We got to put this on blast. No open mic for you, Crow, but I'm going to give you a chance to speak on this one. We're done on that one. That is pretty sad, man. That's pretty sad. Okay, let's try to keep this thing short and sweet because we keep going over on these things, but it's got to be done. Because you can see he's getting pressure. He's getting pressure. That's why his numbers are dropping. He's sitting there going here, he's charging less for the product. He's removing the free shipping because people are calling him out on it. And y'all need to call him out on this dumb nonsense at the end of the day. That Metallica mix, he should not be selling that because he showed you how to make that for free. Do you have any idea how old the Metallica mix is? This is when Crow was giving his products away for free. He wasn't selling them. He was giving away for free. That's why that video exists. So he just took a product. Unless it's something completely different. Unless he's willing to go on live stream, take that same ingredients and make it and put it against his product and show there's a difference. I would love to see this so much. You have no idea. We're coming back in. We got to come back in. We got to put pressure on this guy coming back in. That's